Wednesday morning. I'm Carly Boyette.
I am Natalie Taylor. Thank you so much for joining us right here on Tampa Bay's Morning Blend, where we're talking, I'm a little nervous, we're talking phobias today. And if you guys watch the Morning Blend, you know I won't even say the thing that I am terrified of. I'm talking about S words.
Seriously, that's like when we're in the office and anything comes up about the S word. Anyone, can we guess what it is? Snakes. No, but that's just one of, it's better news, phobia relief. So we have the author of Phobia Relief here, From Fear to Freedom. And I cannot wait to get her take, because she says there's really two only natural fears that we are born with.
Yeah.
So I'm not really sure where everything else comes to play. We've talked a little bit, yeah, you pinpointed yours. So we're going to get some thoughts on that. But yeah, maybe you have a fear of clowns, spiders, public speaking. We hear that's a huge one. So yeah, we're going to be diving into that in a little bit.
To the bottom of that, too.
And then Queen Latifah.
I'm very excited. Queen Latifah and Jada Pinkett Smith. We're going to be talking with both of them about their new upcoming movie.
Which looks hilarious, by the way. Right, up next, we're getting to it. Snakes, public speaking, maybe clowns. Do you have a phobia after the break?
Oh, who put that up there?
Oh, we meet the author behind Phobia Relief, From Fear to Freedom, and find out what she says about tackling some of your greatest fears.
Someone's in trouble.
Our next guest says every person is born with the same two fears, the fear of falling and the fear of loud noises. So where do all the other fears come from?
Yeah, fears like clowns, spiders, that S word. Here to explain is the author of Phobia Relief, From Fear to Freedom, Kalliope Barlis. Good morning. How are you?
Good. How are you doing?
I wish I had the whole hour with you. Let's be honest.
All I need is 7 minutes.
That's what she said. 7 minutes, and she can fix me of my S word phobia. How in the world are you able to do this? Where do we even begin trying to conquer these?
It's really simple, and most people can't even fathom that it could be this simple, because most of the time it's how we're thinking about it. For most people, when they think about it, it's either life-size or bigger than life. They've got a huge picture of a snake or spider or dog, and when I shrink it down, it changes how they feel. And then I actually have them reverse the memory of it, and that weakens it even more.
Now, what about some fears? Like, from what I understand, did you have a fear of public speaking?
I did. In fact, public speaking, even socially, couldn't do it.
And look at you now.
I know, it's incredible, isn't it? I'm on your show.
So how do you shrink? I mean, is it a different course of action then?
It is. Because most of the time when people are afraid to speak to people, they don't imagine the other person loving what they're saying. They say, oh, they're bored of me. What are they thinking of me? They just can't even, they're not thinking that they're actually being liked. So once they actually think about the audience being engaged and finding them interesting, then they have the power to actually speak their message.
Well, I'm curious because, of course, I'm very open about my S-word phobia. I've talked about it on the show plenty of times. I'm not alone in phobias. We do have someone else who has a phobia that we need to discuss, and maybe it's a little unusual. Miss Carly here has her own phobia.
I don't want to see it if we.
Ew! See, that is so gross. Am I alone with this?
See, that's the thing. It's even the thought of it or the picture of it, which means that it's not the actual thing that scares you.
It's like I have goosebumps. Like
that's
that just totally grosses me out.
That's right. And so
it's like the fear of hole. There's a word for it. There is
a
term.
There is a word for it, and quite honestly, I don't know all of the names of the phobias, and I would hate to put them in people's minds.
A phobia for everything, isn't there?
There is almost. There's a fear of long words. Hippocrato, monstra quipi daliopia, and figure that out. They made a long word for the fear of long words.
So you say it's more about the picture, because like I'm trying to cure myself and I'm trying to force myself to look at pictures of S words. Carly didn't want to look at the picture there. Is that a good thing to get to look at pictures, or how can we kind of help people at home if they're relating to this?
Well, what I'd love to do is actually get you in the right state of mind to actually look at them before throwing you into looking at them or being around them.
I don't want to be around it. See, pictures are one thing. I don't want to be around it.
You saying that you were like, listen, I'm afraid of people wanting to cure me of this, so they're just going to throw it at me. I mean, that was like a healthy fear of yours.
Right, which can be scary, right? So what I do with people is if you shrink it down, and then rewind the last memory or last dramatic memory you had of the phobia, it will weaken it.
So how do you rewind it? Sorry, I'm sorry to cut you off. How do you rewind? Because I know when I was little, there was a pet S word in our kindergarten room, and we would see it eat the mice and everything, and it was terrifying. Like, my parents had to go to school. I thought they were under my bed. that's how far back it goes. How do you rewind a memory?
You simply close your eyes,
Okay.
go to the very end of the memory of the first time it ever happened,
Okay.
and rewind it, literally, so that all the motions move backwards, all the sounds rewind. And once you do that, it weakens the memory. And you do that a few times over and over again, it changes the feeling. But better yet, everyone I work with leaves laughing, because I want them to get to the point where they're laughing about what they once feared. But let's put it this way. I don't want you to not be afraid of all
you
snakes.
should have a healthy fear
That's
of something.
correct.
Like
That's
fear
right.
of falling, and what was the other one that we're born with? I mean, I get why that is why
Loud
a healthy
noises.
fear, yeah.
That's right. And so if you go to Australia, you'd want to be afraid of some snakes because they're poisonous, right? You want to stay in safety's way. But if you go over a friend's house and they have a pet snake, you want to feel comfortable and joke around with it.
Yeah, I'm not definitely there yet, but I will try to do some of that rewinding, though. I think that's
You have
really
a special
good tip.
day coming up right before Halloween. I love this. Tell us what you try to do
That's right.
on stage.
Yeah. It's a phobia relief day, and I bring people up who want to volunteer about whatever fear they may have of flying, being in elevators, dogs, and I get rid of their phobia on stage within minutes.
Wow.
And
7 minutes. Okay, and you say it only takes 7 minutes, so hopefully Kalliope will stay after 7 minutes and work with me a little bit longer.
But the book, where can people get it? Where can people find out more about you and help conquer their fears?
Easily in Barnes & Noble. It's on Audible and Amazon. If they order it from my website, they can have it autographed.
From
All
fear to
right.
freedom.
It's possible, right?
Oh, absolutely. And
There's
there's
hope.
no reason to suffer.
Okay. All
So
right.
living a life of freedom.
All right. Well, thank you so much for coming in studio today. We really
Thank-
enjoyed visiting with
Thank
you.
you. Thank you
Big
so much
thanks
for
to
having
you.
me. Yeah. Okay.
All right. Coming up next, do you know how much salt